At the dawn of the 20th century, Russia was a land of stark contrasts. Ruled by the mighty czars, it was a vast empire stretching from Europe to the Pacific. Its size and resources hinted at immense potential. Yet, beneath the surface of grandeur, simmered discontent. Millions of peasants toiled on land they didn't own, their lives dictated by ancient traditions and harsh conditions. The burgeoning industrial workforce, crammed into crowded cities, faced equally bleak prospects. Russia's defeat in the Russo-Japanese War of 1905 exposed the Tsarist regime's weaknesses. A wave of protests and strikes swept the country, forcing Tsar Nicholas II to concede some reforms. But these proved too little, too late. The stage was set for a revolution that would shake the world. The seeds of revolution had been sown long before 1917. Social inequality was deeply ingrained. The privileged elite, a tiny fraction of the population, enjoyed wealth and power while the vast majority struggled to survive. Economic hardship was a constant companion for most Russians. Industrialization, while modernizing the country, brought with it appalling working conditions and widespread poverty. The peasantry, the backbone of Russia, remained trapped in a cycle of debt and dependence. Political oppression added fuel to the fire. Tsar Nicholas II, though personally well-intentioned, clung to autocratic rule. Opposition was brutally suppressed, and calls for reform were met with deaf ears. The Tsar's disastrous decision to enter World War I proved to be the final straw, pushing an already strained society to the breaking point. The February Revolution of 1917 began not with a roar but with a whimper. Bread riots, sparked by wartime shortages, erupted on the streets of Petrograd, formerly St. Petersburg. What began as a spontaneous outburst of frustration quickly escalated into a nationwide uprising. As strikes paralyzed the cities and mutinies spread through the army, the Tsarist regime found itself increasingly isolated. The once mighty autocracy crumbled from within, its authority fatally undermined. On March 2, 1917, facing overwhelming opposition, Tsar Nicholas II abdicated. Centuries of Romanov rule came to an abrupt end, replaced by a provisional government that promised democracy and reform, but the revolution was far from over. Russia had tasted freedom, and its appetite was far from sated. Section 4. Lenin's Hour, the Bolsheviks seize power. The fall of the Tsar did not bring peace or stability to Russia. The provisional government, though well-intentioned, proved weak and indecisive. It failed to address the key issues that plagued the country: the war, land redistribution, and economic crisis. Into this power vacuum stepped Vladimir Lenin, leader of the Bolshevik Party. Lenin, a charismatic and ruthless revolutionary, had just returned from exile in Switzerland. He saw an opportunity to seize power and implement his vision of a socialist state. With the rallying cry "Peace, Land, and Bread," the Bolsheviks, under Lenin's guidance, launched a second revolution in October 1917. The provisional government was overthrown, and the Bolsheviks took control. Russia, once a bastion of Tsarist autocracy, was now on the path to becoming the world's first communist state. Section 5. Architects of Revolution: Lenin and Trotsky. The success of the Bolshevik Revolution was due in no small part to the leadership of Vladimir Lenin and his close comrade, Leon Trotsky. Lenin, the brilliant strategist and ideologue, provided the intellectual framework for the revolution. Trotsky, a gifted orator and organizer, proved instrumental in transforming Lenin's ideas into reality. He played a key role in rallying support for the Bolsheviks and masterminding the Red Army's victory in the ensuing civil war. Despite their shared commitment to communism, Lenin and Trotsky were very different personalities. Lenin, pragmatic and ruthless, was willing to do whatever it took to consolidate power. Trotsky, more idealistic and less politically astute, would later clash with Stalin after Lenin's death, leading to his exile and assassination.